It's your boy, Amreezy. Welcome to another This Week on StocksFC for the week commencing April the 8th. We're here talking about StocksFC again for another week. It's been another great weekend of StocksFC action. We had a lot of Premier League football at the weekend, and we had Premier League football the week in midweek before the weekend. So this weekend was a juicy weekend where it was taking the best scores of players from across two games, which is a little bit exciting. It meant it was a high scoring week this week, especially for a certain Phil Foden. I mean, he just smashed it out of the park. He got an insane score. If you've got him, you've got a nice payout in in-play rewards. If you've had him for 30 days, team of the week. Well, no spoilers, but you can imagine he was in team of the week. I'll show you the team of the week coming up. We'll review the weekend. I'll show you what stocks I've been buying. And I was just thinking if I've sold any stocks. I don't think I've sold any stocks. I've lost a few loan stocks. Remember, if you sign up to StocksFC using someone's link, you get 3 free loan stocks. So you get to have those stocks for a month, and then they go away. But you get the money that those stocks earned. So I've lost those stocks that I signed up for because I've now played for a month. I've now been on StocksFC for a month. If you want to sign up, use the link in the description of this video. That link will give you the 3 free stocks that you get to play with, and then you can play with more if you want. If not, just enjoy the 3 free stocks. So yeah, we're going to be looking at last weekend. I'm going to be showing you my portfolio, the new additions, and then I'm going to be giving you a little preview for the weekend coming up and any stocks you might want to think about buying. So let's get cracking. Let's get started. Let's look at how I did in last weekend, or how we all did actually in last weekend's StocksFC. Right then, let's look at the team of the week for the weekend just gone. And number one, coming in at number one is Phil Foden, the highest scorer this weekend with 118 points. A crazy score, an amazing score. So Phil Foden just had some team of the week payouts. Tuesday, by the way, is when I record these videos. Best day for StocksFC because you get team of the week payouts, you get in play for the weekend scores payouts. Love Tuesdays, they're great. So if you've got Foden, he has a lot of stocks. So there's a lot of Phil Foden stocks out there, which means the payout for Foden isn't as high as, say, someone more obscure with less stocks. However, you're getting a lot of in-play scores because he scored sort of 3 goals. You're getting team of the week as well. So it's a good week for Foden owners. He's the number 1 scoring player this weekend. In at number 2 is Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, it was a week for midfielders. The top 4 scoring players this week, all midfielders. Gibbs White, number 3. Kai Havertz, number 4. And Dubravka, a goalkeeper, with 68. So they were the top 5 scoring players. It was a midfield heavy week. And Gibbs White, possibly a little bit of a left field picture, especially because it was over 2 games, the highest score over 2 games. Gibbs White still made it in. And the way I'm looking at team of the weeks is it's kind of a scouting for future stocks. I mean, you look at this and yeah, De Bruyne and Foden, most people should have those, but Gibbs White being in there, it encourages you to kind of look at what's Gibbs White been doing. I've kind of had a little delve myself, and he's been doing really well for a while now. This isn't a one-off week. So I made some Gibbs White bids during the weekend. I got a few stocks. I'll reveal later in my portfolio why I only got a few and not enough, but I did get a few. But I think these team of the weeks are a great place to look at and kind of go, oh, he's a bit different. He's a bit of a left field pick. He's not usually in these team of the weeks. Why is he in there? Is this momentum changing? Is he in a more advanced role? And I think Nottingham Forest, they're battling for survival right now. I have Nico Williams. I've got a few Nico Williams stocks since his IPO. And he's done well for me, like twice. I think he might have 2 team of the weeks. He's given me some in-play rewards, and he's very attacking. Nottingham Forest, very attacking. They kind of have to be at the moment. They're battling for survival. So Gibbs White is very crucial to how they play, makes a lot of good key passes, gets some assists, pops up the goal now and again. So he's not in this team by accident. So Gibbs White, one that you should probably have on your radar. Havertz possibly as well. I mean, Havertz, I think this is the first time I've seen him in team of the week. So I don't know if this is a one-off. There's some players in here like Havertz, Wood, Calvert-Lewin. They're players that I probably wouldn't expect to be in here every week, but who knows? Maybe Havertz is now playing in Arsenal's a formation that's more suitable for him. Maybe he's settled in now more. Maybe his confidence is growing. he's one to keep an eye on for sure. Chris Wood, probably going to leave. Just because, yes, it is Nottingham Forest. Yes, they are attacking, but Awaniwi is still a little bit injured at Nottingham Forest. And I think Wood's been so good since Awaniwi got re-injured that maybe Wood holds that first team spot now. But Awaniwi's a great player for Forest, has scored a lot of goals for them. So it just reduces the threat. It reduces his minute certainty, basically. So that's what puts me off Chris Wood. And also, I don't want to go too hard on Nottingham Forest in case they get relegated. And, if you're new to StocksFC, the Premier League is the only league that's covered at the moment. But the leagues will be coming on board soon. I think they'll be doing the other big European leagues first. So the Championship isn't covered at the moment. So if you Nottingham Forest players all get relegated and don't move to Premier League teams in the summer, you don't want too many of them in your club. So I'll be resisting Wood. Calvert-Lewin is a very frustrating player for me. He's either injured or scores, but then doesn't score for a while, or scores, then gets injured, or he just doesn't seem to be able to put a good, solid run of form together. So I'm cautious with the Calvert-Lewin one. I wouldn't be going there. Diaz, I'd like. His price isn't right for me. I don't really like to sign stocks or buy stocks when they're sort of at their peak. I like to wait for those dips when I can hopefully invest before the next peak. So Diaz is kind of peaking at the moment. I'm waiting for the next dip on him. In defense, Zinchenko, I wouldn't go Zinchenko fully. He's a little bit of a minutes risk at Arsenal. Gabriel's a solid one. If you can get your hands on some Gabriel stocks, one of the best defenders in the game, as well as Porro, a very attacking winger, Porro, bombing down the wing, puts a lot of crosses in the box. He's a great player if you can get Porro. And goalkeepers, funny, Dubravka got team of the week this week because Newcastle kept a clean sheet. However, I don't know how long it's going to be till Pope is back in the for Newcastle. And Dubravka has made the occasional mistake, so I don't think he's made that number one jersey his at Newcastle. So I'm cautious. I wouldn't be going near Dubravka stocks, even though he made the team of the week this week. However, if you've got some already, if you sort of, when Pope got injured, you went, I'm going to get Dubravka stocks because he's now going to be the number one goalkeeper for a while, you're laughing. You're laughing all the way to the bank. So that's the team of the week. I did see put on the socials yesterday, I believe, the team of the season so far. So remember, StocksFC, the team of the season, the 11 players that make the team of the season all get a nice big payout per stock. So at the moment, the wallet current total is this, and the payout per stock at the moment will be as shown. So if you've got Son, if you've got plenty of Son stocks, you're getting $1.55 for every stock, which is lovely, I don't have enough of these players. So, I mean, and this could also change. This could not be the team of the season. I think Diaz is a new player in the current team of the season. He's just come in the team. And possibly Ruben Diaz might even be a new addition. But this is the team as it stands. It could change. However, I think there's a few players in here that are certainties, like Rodri should be there, Salah should be there, possibly Van Dijk, Trippier maybe. Unless one of these players gets injured and then everyone else does a lot better, they should be in the team. But looking at this team, I have some Salah stocks, I have some Rodri stocks. That's it. I am trying to get my hands on some Rice stocks. But the problem with all of these stocks now, they're here. They're all on sort of really steep graphs. They're all peaking because everybody wants them, because everyone's expecting them to be in the team of the season. So the price has gone high. Now, I think you have to look at each stock individually and kind of work out, is it worth... Yes, they're going to be a higher price, but look at sort of the payout per stock and go, if I buy, say, a whole bunch of Son stocks, I'm going to get this pretty much if he gets team of the season. So you can kind of take that away from the price of the stock, and then you go, well, will he get into more team of the weeks? Will he get lots of in-plays for the remaining part of the season? Is it a good stock to hold for the foreseeable future? Is this a stock you want to get and then next season you're going to want them? I think with players like Salah, maybe that's a bit risky because will he be at Liverpool next season? With players like Trippier, he's getting a little bit older. Will he be first team next season? But I think players like Rodri, Rice, McAllister, these are stocks that are going to be there next season, should be first team next season. They're the ones I'm looking at. So that's the team of the season as it stands. I have mentioned my portfolio a little bit. So let's now take a look at the stocks that I bought since last week's video and what I'm thinking around my portfolio. Okay, then, ladies and gentlemen, it's portfolio time. Since last week's video, where I believe the last stocks I had bought were Isaac at Newcastle. I think Isaac was the last stocks I bought, and midweek Isaac scored a goal, got some in-play rewards for me already. So 36p earned on the 5 stocks that I earn of Isaac. So if you're new to StocksFC, I'm kind of playing with a small amount to start off with to kind of get used to the system. You know, I've only been playing for a month. I'm still at that early discovery stage of the site, how it works. So I think my stocks that I have are fairly low. There's people I see on the Discord of the Stocks Discord. Go follow the Stocks Discord, by the way, great Discord. There's people I see in the Discord buying sort of 100, 200 stocks, which, you know, they're playing with bigger budgets than me. They might have been on the platform for much longer, so they kind of trust that if they deposit that much, they can kind of get that much back in returns. I'm not there yet, so I'm still playing with smaller kind of volumes. If you look here, these are the amount of stocks I earn of a player. And 5 is the kind of common amount that I buy for a player before I then go, I want more. And then I have, I think, 10 of an Enzo Fernandez, 9 of Rodri. I think Foden is 5.5. So they're the highest stocks I own. So since last week, I've bought Gibbs White and Lewis Dunk. Now, both of these stocks I bought, Dunk here and Gibbs White, both of them I wanted 10 stocks because their price had dipped. And I tried to come in the market at a really good price for them. And I ordered 10 stocks and my orders weren't fully filled. So I ended up getting 3.92 of the Gibbs White. Well, it was 3.96, but you lose 1% in the burn fee. So in total, now I have 3.92 of Gibbs White. I would like more, but it's just that I got him at a low price. Let's have a look at the graphs. Let's have a look at the graph, okay? Gibbs White, for example. I did this with Gibbs White and Lewis Dunk. So over the weekend, I saw stocks that were dipping that I thought they shouldn't be dipping. They're good players for their clubs. Gibbs White and Lewis Dunk both did the same. So if we look at the graph here, Gibbs White over the weekend did this. For whatever reason, people decided they wanted to sell their Gibbs White stocks. I think because he had such a nice peak here, a lot of people who bought him down here were thinking, this is a good point to get some profit. And then that caused a little bit of panic in the market. There was a drop in his price. And it all went down to, at the end of the day, 0.00052 ETH. I ended up getting him for below that. I ended up getting him around here. Around about 0.48 or 47, I ended up getting him because it dropped so much. That's why I didn't get my whole order filled, because I'm just loading up the Lewis Dunk one as well. I think the Dunk one is, you see it a bit more better. But I kind of, as the price was going down here and there was a bit of chaos with people selling, people thinking his Gibbs White stocks out, I had 10 order, 3.96 of them got filled. And then his price went back up here. So now if you look at his orders, the lowest order is 0.0070, which is like above here, which is here. So I wanted to fill out more Gibbs White stocks. I was going to pay a bit more than what I paid to kind of fill out and get a few more stocks, but it went up so quickly, my orders didn't get filled. So now I'm in a position where I've only got 3.92 of his stocks. I want more because you don't really get much of a payout from just 3.92 stocks, but it's better than nothing. But I'm not going to pay this price now. So I'm going to have to wait for another dip when he comes down here. And that's going to kind of be my trading technique, where I wait for those dips, I swoop in if I think it's a good opportunity, and then I try and see if they go a bit higher. With Lewis Dunk, he had the same thing where all of a sudden people just decided they didn't want, look at this big dip here. People just decided they wanted to sell their Dunk stocks. It dropped a little bit over one day, and then it just had a day where everyone was selling. I came in again with 10 stocks at a certain price. I bought them literally, I think, at this point of 0.0016. And then now he's kind of gone back up to 0.0021 ETH. So I took advantage getting a few here. I think with this technique that I'm doing, it means you're never going to get a good amount of stocks in one go, because I ordered 10 and I got 1.98 of Lewis Dunk. I got 2 Lewis Dunk stocks, which means I now have 1.98. So it's a kind of slow technique possibly where you get them at a lower price. But I think if I do this and it works, I can then increase my model with a bigger budget. I can then put more in as my confidence in the platform and as my sort of, if I sell these Lewis Dunk stocks at the end of the season and I make, say, a nice profit, that then proves to me I can, at the next time I see him go down, put more money, put more stocks behind it, and then it should work. So that's my kind of tactics. That's my thinking. My portfolio is worth £119 now. That fluctuates. It's been like 122 to 118, I think. So it's in a good place. I've spent around, my portfolio is around about £100 there. And then I've got an extra £60, I think, that I added the weekend, which is in Declan Rice. So the three stocks I'm going for are Gibbs White, Lewis Dunk, and Declan Rice. Now, I showed you the team of the week earlier. I want Declan Rice because I think he's got a good chance of finishing in the team of the season. He's got some Champions League games still to play. Euros, I think he's a solid pick for the England team in the Euros. The Euros should be covered on StocksFC as well. So I kind of want Declan Rice. Now, the problem with Declan Rice is, as with all the stocks who are in the team of the season, their price is so high. However, Tuesdays is a good time to buy stocks because people get the team of the week payouts and they sell. They take their profits and you do get some selling. So I do have an order at the moment of Declan Rice at £88.86 per stock, which in ETH is 0.00320. So I am here. I am the highest sort of order to be filled here. The lowest is 0.0023, which I think I'll pay. If in the next, I'll give it a couple of hours. If no one's taking me on this order, I've been gradually increasing it all day. I started at 317. I moved to 3118. I'm now at 320. I'm just pushing up my order. I want 5 stocks in Declan Rice just to kind of give me a good platform of his stocks. And, if we look at his graph, it's just been going up now. He's at another peak here. It could go down, but I just think this is not the end of this peak. I think when, over the course of a season, give it a year, this may look insignificant. This may look like this after we've had a lot more data on this ops trading. So even though he goes against my principle of buying stocks when they're like this, when they're at their high, I think he's got further highs to come. And I want at least one stock on the team of the season that I want to invest in now. I've got some that I invested in earlier, and all of them look like this. All of the team of the season stocks kind of look like this at the moment, where they're all having peaks in their graphs. So I'm going to take the risk with just one of them, and I'm going to choose Declan Rice because I think even if I pay a high price for him, I do think he could go even higher, and I do think I'm going to get plenty of use from him for the end of the season when Arsenal are going to be going for every game, and for the Euros, and who knows where Arsenal go in the Champions League. So there's a lot of game to get from Declan Rice. So I might have to pay this. I'm hoping I get to pay this. So yeah, that's my portfolio. If we look at sort of profits, I mean, they're all kind of doing well. It shows you here the profit figures. The ones that I'm not in profit with aren't massively, the biggest loss is Justin Kluivert, who, by the way, Justin Kluivert scored last week, assisted at the weekend, scored the week before. So Justin Kluivert, last week I was saying I want to sell him, but he's sort of, this is catching up to the green. This is catching up. So one more week of a Justin Kluivert return. Maybe. The other stocks who are in the red are Watkins, but by a tiny bit. Enzo Fernandez, but with Enzo Fernandez, he's the long-term pick for me. I got 10 of his stocks because I think he's going to be a great player for the rest of his career. I think next season Chelsea maybe have a different manager, different way of playing. I just think Enzo Fernandez, even though I'm not thinking too short-term with him, he's a stock that I want for like a long time. So I'm not too worried if he has like a bit of a dip in form now. I bought him in a bit of a dip. I'm just hoping long-term he pays off. Same with Nick Pope. I've got 5 Nick Pope stocks, but that's for when he comes back from injury. So we've had a little bit of a dip because his price has gone a bit lower, even lower than I thought. But when he's back from injury, I'm hoping that stock pumps back up and everybody wants Nick Pope then. And then the other one is Nico Williams, who's a tiny bit in the red. But, again, with him, a couple of more in-plays from him, a couple more assists, couple more attacking passes, forward runs, maybe the occasional team of the week, because defenders there's still not that many defenders. So you kind of still got a good chance of a defender nicking a place in the team of the week. So that's how my portfolio is looking at the moment. We've earned £3.64 in rewards. We'd like to see that number keep going up. It's early days yet. Let's now take a look at the weekend coming and any sort of thinking and any thoughts, any short-term stocks I think might be worth considering. Okay, the weekend coming up. We don't have midweek Premier League football. We do have midweek Champions League football. So if you've got stocks that are playing in the Champions League football, this is the only time you get to use your Harry Kane stocks. Harry Kane is on the platform. He's one of the first stocks that was put on the game. But since he's moved to Bayern Munich, he's no longer scores for Bayern Munich's league games. He does score in the Champions League. So he's one of the stocks that are available this week, this midweek. You've also got some Man City players, Arsenal players. So yeah, you've got those. But in terms of Premier League fixtures at the weekend coming, I think these are the 5 fixtures that I'm targeting that I think you should target if you're thinking short-term trade. So maybe you want to pick up a few stocks now before the weekend that you think are going to do really well at the weekend, get you some in-plays, team of the week, and then you can sell them after or you hold them. So Man City v Luton, this is an obvious one. This is, title chasing team against Luton who can concede a lot of goals. Luton, they do give a lot of teams a good game, but even when they give the team a good game, they still concede a lot of goals, So if you've got, the likes of Foden could have a good game here, De Bruyne. I've put Julian Alvarez on screen here as a kind of one that you might want to think, if you're thinking a bit left field, like Foden and De Bruyne are kind of the established stocks. They're in the team of the season at the moment. They just got team of the week. They should be good stocks, but they're expensive. So if you want to think a little bit outside the box, I think, listen, you're taking a risk with Man City players because even Foden and De Bruyne got dropped at the weekend or midweek. I think one got dropped at the weekend, one got dropped last midweek. So you're playing Pep Roulette. All the players have a chance to get dropped. But recently, we did see Haaland get dropped. And when Haaland's dropped, Alvarez comes in. Alvarez also plays with Haaland sometimes. He can play on the wing. He can play as a number 10. He plays a number 9. He's very versatile. So if we look at his graph here, he did have like a big peak when he first came on the platform. The hype died. It dipped down. But then since Man City picked up their form again, it came back up. Had a bit of a dip. Now he's kind of leveling out at this kind of price range. So in terms of trading, I've done a little bit of basic trading. So with all of the StocksFC, the graphs, the trading history is such a short amount of time that you can't really put too many trading patterns on the graphs because it's been so early. But you can in a way, because this is a kind of trading pattern where you'd say, okay, now the stock looks like it's leveled out here. It's found a kind of steady price point. It seems like it could go a bit up, it could go a bit below, but possibly this is the average line. So you might want to say, Alvarez in the next remaining games, Man City are going to rest players. They're going to have Champions League football. They're going to have Premier League football. There's going to be a lot of fixtures to be played. And Pep likes to rotate. Alvarez will get plenty of games. He won't play them all. He will get dropped. But when he plays, there's a good chance he scores. And he could get team of the week. So you might want to think about Alvarez as kind of a punt, as one-off weeks. Or you might want to just think of him as a long-term hold. I think he won't get team of the season. He could get team of the season, but it's unlikely. However, you might not want to have him for that. You might want to have him just for those occasional team of the weeks he makes if he plays and if he scores. So Luton this weekend, maybe Man City are playing Real Madrid in the Champions League. Haaland should definitely play that. Possibly then Haaland gets rested for Luton and Alvarez plays. So if you're feeling like a gamble, if you're feeling like a little bit of a punt, I'd be tempted for Alvarez this week. All my money's in Declan Rice this week. All my remaining budget is in Declan Rice. So that's where I'm going this week. I won't be doing any more trades this week. However, if you want to punt, I'd have a little look at Alvarez. Brentford, Sheffield United, second fixture on the target hit list. Why have I gone for Brentford, Sheffield United? Well, Sheffield United are a team to target. Even though Chelsea couldn't do much against them at the weekend, let's not talk about that. Chelsea frustration once again. Take a deep breath. Brentford got 3 goals against Aston Villa. Now, I think this is a good game because I think Sheffield United possibly shouldn't have got the draw against Chelsea, possibly should have lost again there. Then they're away at Brentford, and Brentford, after scoring 3 goals against Aston Villa, even though they drew that game 3-3, I think by playing so well, scoring 3 goals, Brentford showed that they could be putting a bit of form together again. And I've not fully looked into the historical data in this, but I just get a feeling that Brentford they don't seem to finish the season poorly. They seem to kind of finish strong, or I don't feel like Brentford kind of, when I just think about Brentford and their Premier League history, I feel like they don't have like big portions where they have good form and bad form. I feel like it's hit and miss with Brentford, where it's like a couple of good weeks, a couple of bad weeks, couple of good weeks, couple of bad weeks. So because of that like random nature of Brentford's form, you never know when the next good peak's coming for Brentford. And Sheffield United at home, after scoring 3 against Aston Villa, I think there's a possibility there. Sorry, if you want to take a punt on some of the Brentford players, Mbeumo's back from injury. They've still got Ivan Toney, a couple of the defenders. Maybe they could keep a clean sheet against Sheffield United. Have a little look. Liverpool Palace. Obviously, Salah, if you've got him. Diaz, these are the big hitters for Liverpool. McAllister, I can't afford McAllister. I can't seem to find McAllister at a good price, so I'm not going there. But if you've got those 3 players, it's a great time to score. I feel like Liverpool do well historically as well against Crystal Palace. I remember a few Liverpool Palace games being high scoring, Liverpool doing well there. So with them drawing against Manchester United as well at the weekend, they need a win to sort of get back their title push. I think Arsenal are top now, but Liverpool, 1 point behind them. Crystal Palace is a good chance for them to kind of get a win. And also, Liverpool not being in the Champions League and still having a realistic title push, I think means that they will possibly prioritize the Premier League instead of Europe. Whereas Man City and Arsenal, I think them being in the Champions League is kind of as good as the Premier League. Whereas Liverpool being not in the Champions League, Liverpool having Europa League, yes, they want to win that, but I think they'd rather win the Premier League. So it's not like Man City where they might rest players for the league and play everyone against Real Madrid. I think Liverpool play everyone against Palace and maybe rest players for the first leg of the Europa League game, see if they can get through with a few players rested. And then that's what I think. So I think Liverpool, you're safe going for the big guys, Salah, McAllister, Diaz, and also all 3 of those players are team of the season at the moment. So this could be a good week if you've not got them to get them. I'm looking at Diaz and I've got Salah already. So that's Liverpool Palace. Arsenal Villa, again, it's a title. I think Arsenal, City, and Liverpool, no matter who they're playing, should be for the last few games of the season considered because they're all going for the title. They're all going to be playing their best teams possible. They're all going to be really going for it. There shouldn't be any complacency from any of those 3 teams. And that's why Arsenal are a bit lower because they're playing Villa, the better team, whereas Man City and Liverpool have easier fixtures. But still, if you can get Arsenal fit players, Havertz, after Havertz making team of the week, let's have a little look at Kai Havertz. After him making team of the week, possibly Kai Havertz is now going to be on a lot of people's radar. I mean, look at this graph. He really wasn't in consideration for a long time here. Now that he's made team of the week, we have got this huge spike up. So this goes against my trading philosophies. I wouldn't buy any here. However, this peak is kind of short term. This is people just jumping on the fact that he was going to be in the team of the week. This should come down. How far it comes down is kind of like how much you want to gamble. Like if it comes down back to this level, which I think it should eventually, unless he has a really good game in the Champions League, it should come back down to here over time. I don't think it'll come back down here before the weekend's fixtures. So if you want to get Havertz, you're going to have to gamble that he's going to really kick on now and that this is going to be another peak that kind of continues upwards here. So Havertz could be an option if you want someone who's in form. And I don't like jumping on someone that quickly. Saka's not on the platform. Martinelli doesn't seem to be first team anymore. Trossard is again someone I don't think is on the platform too. So Havertz and Martinelli are you kind of attacking options at Arsenal, which is probably why Havertz has had such a big peak because people now feel like we've got a good Arsenal option again, a good Arsenal attacking option because since Martinelli's become a bit of a fixture minutes risk, I'm imagining Martinelli's graph has come down a bit. Let's take a look. I've not actually had a look at him recently. Yeah, Martinelli, this has just been a gradual decline. Now, in terms of how I like to trade, in terms of how I'm playing this game, what I'm going to now look at is I'm going to be looking for green shoots for Martinelli. If Martinelli gets back in the first team, if he starts scoring a few goals, if he looks lively, if he starts creating a few assists, if some of the people keeping Martinelli out of the team get injured, these are the kind of things I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be jumping on Martinelli stocks because this is now when I want to buy a stock. When he's come down here, I just want to, I need the price to be low, but I also need the context to be right. So I'm waiting on Martinelli. I'm waiting for him to show signs that he's back to how he was at the beginning of the season, lively, first team. So as soon as I get those signs, that's when I want to get involved in this kind of stock. So the last game, Bournemouth, Man United. I think Manchester United, by drawing against Liverpool, kind of proved a few people wrong. But Manchester United feel a little bit like Chelsea to me this season. As a Chelsea fan, every time I've felt Chelsea have done something that we can build on, we can get some momentum going, we've lost or we've drawn the next game. Like the Sheffield United game this weekend was the perfect example for Chelsea. Beat Manchester United midweek, confidence is high, momentum's great, then draw against Sheffield United. That's just been the story of Chelsea's season. The same with Manchester United, but maybe not as bad as Chelsea's. I just feel like, as you can see from the league table, Man United being a little bit above Chelsea, maybe their momentum doesn't drop as quickly as Chelsea's. Maybe Bournemouth is a good game for Manchester United, but I've also included this fixture because it could be a good game for Bournemouth as well. Because of that whole have momentum, then lose it, have momentum, then lose it. This could also be the perfect game for Bournemouth to beat Man United and bring Man United back down to the ground. So Cliver, I've got Justin Cliver. I'm not just saying this because I want to get Justin Kluivert's price back up there to help me, but I'd also be tempted to buy Kluivert again this week. So his form is all over the place for idiots like me gambling on him, like here. He is dropping a bit, but he is picking it back up now. I bought Kluivert around about here when he was leveling out at this price. I've since seen him drop, which concerned me, but now I'm seeing him pick up. He's given me a few in-play rewards. I think a goal and an assist. He's still fairly low. These are his peaks. This is where he could go if he has one good week. If he scores against Manchester United, you could double that. That could easily go up there. Then you can make a quick sell. So if you're feeling like a gamble, I'd have a look at Kluivert. I've got Kluivert, and I've taken him off the sort of sales of my order book. I was trying to sell his stocks last week. I've taken him off there. I'm keeping him for a bit more, just to kind of see what he does. I'm keeping him for his first 30 days, then I'll probably sell him. So that's my kind of fun pick of the fixtures. The other four, I think, it's fairly obvious who should win those games. So that's what my preview, my thinking is for the weekend coming up. That's my StocksFC roundup. Stay tuned to the channel next week. I'll update you on my portfolio, on what I did well and what I didn't do well, what stocks are looking good. Let me know in the comments what you're doing if you're playing StocksFC. If you're not playing StocksFC, try it out using my link in the comments. You get 3 free stocks on loan. And that's it for this week. Give your boy a like and a subscribe. I'll see you next week. Good luck with all your stock purchases. Peace.